There is not a more amazing creature in God's great earth than a woman, especially the woman you fall in love with, to have, to hold, and to cherish. This woman he has given you is unique for sure in her history, her personality, her calling, her gifts, and the way she just does her life alongside of you. I have worked with thousands of women as a psychologist, and they have taught me so much. But one thing I know is that women do not come with an owner's manual at all. When you marry, you are learning from each other as you go, for sure, down this road of life. However, I have done many men's conferences worldwide, and I'll never forget what inspired me to do this series. I was in the largest hockey stadium in Toronto, Canada, and shared this idea of how to really love a woman, and there were lines for this teaching. What I realized is that we hit a chord with godly men. They really do want to love a woman, but they really are lacking practical ways to do this. They have all heard the preacher quote Ephesians 5 for husbands to love their wives as Christ loves the church. However, they feel they are lacking the practical skills of meeting their wife's needs or expectations. Honestly, men are not trained anywhere on how to love a woman. Some have better role models like their dads, but when asked if their dad ever sat them down or gave them a book on loving a woman, less than 1% would say yes to that question. In public, Christian, or even homeschools, ask yourself or your husband if they had a class on how to love a woman, even in college. I have 4 degrees, 2 in theology, 2 in counseling, and I've never had a class or even one assignment on how to love a woman. I say all this to give men some grace for trying to learn on the job, so to speak, and trying to understand someone who's quite different from himself. However, in the course of how to really love a woman, he can learn at home, or even better yet, with a few guy friends, either in home or church or online, and learn together how to actually love a woman. Now, I've been teaching this information in this series for decades, and I've seen marriages become healthier, women feeling heard and more understood than ever before. And as a guy, I know with almost every inheritance God gives to me, there's maintenance with that inheritance. Even Adam was given a job to work and care for the garden God gave to him. This is something almost every man accepts, be it a pet, a wife, a child, a house, a business, a car. It works, but it's really much easier if you know exactly how to maintain the specific blessing God has given to you. Okay, like I said, they don't come with owner's manuals. I don't know a Christian man who wants to hear from the Lord at the end of his life he was an awful husband, who neglected his wife and did not add to her life and happiness. Most Christian men want to hear from the Lord, "Well done, good and faithful servant," when it comes to his wife and family. The How to Really Love a Woman course is 10 30-minute segments men can sit together and discuss how to better love the woman they really want to love. Ladies, this is something every man needs. Your father needs it. Your husband needs it. Your son-in-law. And even if they just got married, okay, your girlfriends, their husbands need this, okay? The better women are loved in the church, in this hour of the church, the better for everyone. So I want you to stay with us as we take this journey today, and please do a group for men that can have this information and really take this to heart and mature, because this is the heart of God. When he trusts you with something, or more importantly in this case, when he trusts you with someone, his heart is that you would learn how to love them. And I know as a man, sometimes the way a woman wants to be loved, her love languages are obviously going to be different than yours. You like to be touched and praised, and she wants, acts of service or gifts or quality time, and it's like, well, how do I stretch to do that? Well, that's where being a Christian is really ideal, because the Holy Spirit will give you the grace if you desire to move in this way of loving your wife. And the way we teach it practically, you're going to be able to make it happen for yourself. It isn't a mystery. Now, your wife has been telling you, this would mean you love me, I want this, I need this. And if your wife continues to share something again and again and again, in men we call that nagging, usually it's a woman saying, I'm not being heard, I'm not being heard, I'm not being heard. And if she's wanting the electrical socket fixed, or it's, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, that means you're not being on top of it. You're not hearing her. If she's saying, I want to go on dates, and you're not taking her on dates, you're not hearing her. And part of this series on how to really love a woman is for you to learn how to hear what she's saying she needs from you or wants from you. And if you can hear that, and then you can respond to it. Most women without psychological disorders are reasonable. They don't expect you to be 100%, but they expect you to be trying. And if you're in a situation where you don't feel like you're trying towards your wife, then you need to maybe evaluate that, look at that, and see what she's asking for, and move towards that. And a lot of times, it's not that much. Okay, now, if you haven't done anything for decades, you might have to dig yourself out of a hole. But if you're kind of staying on top of it, it's usually not much at all.
For more content and resources to help in your healing journey with Christ, make sure to follow Dr. Doug Weiss on Facebook and Instagram. If you'd like to share full episodes of this show with friends and family, subscribe to Healing Time Ministries on YouTube, and feel free to leave us a comment on any of Dr. Doug's social media platforms. Our team would love to hear your feedback and learn how Healing Time is impacting your life, your church, and your ministry.